This is called Night Solo. There are a lot of people who have read about me and my dad who think that my dad was a bad guy. And I would like to put you back to a particular point in time when he was on his 21st birthday as an Army Air Corps cadet. And he was having his first night solo. He was in a plane called an AT-6 Texan. He was in Arizona, Thunderbird, about which Howard Hughes made a movie. And after you actually done your first solo, you also had an obligation to do a night solo. And this one happened to coincide with my dad's 21st birthday. Who are you then? You're a callow prep school boy who went to Cornell, and you knew you were going to go to the war. They used to say, if the pencil stands on its point, we will study. If not, we will go drinking. And then volunteering as soon as you turned 18. Because they knew they were going to go fight Germany. They were going to go fight to win the war. Why did they pick the Air Force? Because it's the best chance of getting killed. And maybe having something left to bury. So my father shows up in Thunderbird, Arizona, where they tell you, oh, by the way, there are 8 poisonous snakes in America, and they're all to be found right here. Then they say, okay, here are the rules. You make your bed so tight that we can bounce a quarter off it, or you're washed out. Every infraction you commit in the air gets you washed out. And you're a callow boy from Cornell with a slightly snotty attitude about driving too fast, too many times, too many places, and who gives a damn about who you are? See, now my dad actually turns out to be a lot like me. He they have to wait for him to find shoes for him to go through basic training because his feet are too narrow. My feet are too narrow, so I can identify with that part of it. And by the time the shoes arrive, basic training is done. My dad never went through basic training. He went right into flight training. And then it all starts to happen. It's yeah, he could drive fast. He could well, he had the thing that I don't actually have. He could actually, he could operate in 3 dimensions. See, I was a good driver, but I couldn't do the 3-dimension thing. I never wanted to be a pilot. He knew how to be a pilot. And then he got all the way through all the check flights. He passed all the gun tests. And then there came the night when they turned out all the lights, and he was 21 years old, and he had his night solo. Well, I'm guessing that most of you did actually have the same kind of experience my dad has ever had in any realm of life when he did his night solo. Because what happened was he was out there, he took a wrong turn, he came back, and they had turned off all the runway lights. It's your 21st birthday. You are trying to land, and there is no runway left for you. What passes through your head? He thought about everything, past and future. He also thought about how to save his life. Because, well, yeah, I'm a motorhead. I know how that is. I just don't operate. I operate in 2 dimensions. He operated in 3. So here he is. He's like flying over the base, buzzing it. They've turned the lights off. Everybody has gone home. He was just a little bit late. So what do you do? What do you do? Well, so here's the thing. If you're a laird, you fly closer and closer and closer to the ground. If you take out the tower, you take out the tower. You are like flying harder and harder and closer until finally somebody realizes you are still up there and they turn on the lights. All of the arguments my dad and I ever had boiled down to this. It's like you do have to fly closer and closer to the ground. You have to make them turn on the lights to let you know that you are there. And when they finally found out that he was there, he landed on his 21st birthday on his first night solo.